Miami Heat Nation, what is going on? So, in today's video, we got some major Miami Heat news. It looks like Plan B has been revealed if they don't land Kevin Durant. We also do got some more Kevin Durant news. And guys, trust me, you guys are going to want to stick around. But before we do start today's video, if you guys enjoy Miami Heat content, we do upload every single day. And our goal this year is to upload for 365 days, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Continue to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. Road to 6,000 subscribers, and let's get back in today's video. So, as you see on the screen right here, it says report. The Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat are two teams to monitor as a potential sign-in trade candidates for Jonathan Kaminga. Now, Jonathan Kaminga got brought up for like a day or so, and then we haven't really heard much reports. It kind of just went to Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, and Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, plan A is to land Kevin Durant, and I still think that deal gets done, and we still got some more news on that later in the video. But I do want to talk about plan B because I don't like this option at all. I don't. Like, if we're going to go after Jonathan Kaminga, I'd rather just run it back. Now, that might sound crazy to you because we've been running it back for forever long. But there's no point of trading for Jonathan Kaminga. What is Jonathan Kaminga going to do to this team? Yes, he finished off the postseason strong, but that's just because Steph Curry got hurt. If Steph Curry was there, was Jonathan Kaminga playing that way? And I do think Jonathan Kaminga could be a good player. I do. I just don't think not on my team because there's going to be so much pressure on Kaminga because this is going to be the biggest move the Miami Heat are going to make and however long. And then the big three is going to be Tyler, Kaminga, and Bam. What is that going to do? And what are we going to give up for Kaminga? Like, if we're giving up Jovic and Jaime for Kaminga, like, are we serious? You know what I mean? Or maybe not running back, but I might just give me DeRozan. I don't want Kaminga on my team. I just don't. I don't like how this is even an option. I don't like how this is a plan. Leave Kaminga to the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls make perfect sense for Jonathan Kaminga. They can build a nice young core over there. The Miami Heat are trying to contend, and they're still trying to win championships. Kaminga, I just feel like isn't in that time frame. It doesn't make much sense. So please land Kevin Durant. If we don't land Kevin Durant, I'm not the biggest fan of DeRozan, but hey, go after DeRozan because I think DeRozan is going to be cheaper than Kevin Durant and Kaminga, in my opinion. I really do. I think it might just be expiring deals. I'll give up expiring deals. I'll give up a Terry Rozier to bring a DeRozan on my team. So I'm very curious to see what do you guys think about Jonathan Kaminga. Now, I do want to show you guys his numbers. So, you have your own opinion on it. I will say, like I said, he finished off the postseason strong at 18 points, 30, 23, and 26. No Steph Curry. He's still fairly young. He's only 22 years old, so he has a lot to grow. And I also will say the Warriors gave up on this dude. I mean, they hardly played him. There was just a lot of stuff that was coming out. I mean, but the last two seasons averaged about like 15 points, 16 points a game. This is kind of where he broke out. Shooting 45% from the field. Last year, shot 53. Shot 30% from the three-point line. The year before, shot 32. Same about rebounds, same about assists, and same about steals. So this is what you're going to get out of the Jonathan Kaminga. You know what I mean? And, we can look at his contract. Obviously, he's going to have to get – and that's another thing. We're going to have to pay him. It's a sign-and trade, but when we look at this contract, he's a restricted free agent and all this other stuff. So we're going to have to pay him. As you see right here, $7 million. They're going to probably bring him back and then trade him. That's the goal. That he's not going back to the Golden State Warriors. So this is plan B for the Miami Heat. DeRozan, I'd rather just bring in DeRozan personally, in my opinion. But hey, we'll see what happens with this Miami Heat team does. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Now, another thing that has been brought up, and I'm not the biggest fan of this, it says Ware is now considered likely to be in the Kevin Durant trade. As you see the comments, Vice, please say April Fools. And he says at least they're trying to explore ways of keeping him out. Now, once again, I don't know how he knows this stuff. So keep this with a grain of salt, right? I think that's the saying. I don't know how true this is, but he keeps reporting this and he knows all this stuff, right? So we'll see what happens. But if this is the case, there is no way the Miami Heat should make this move. I'm sorry. It doesn't make no sense at all. Why are we trading Ware that has all the potential in the world for Kevin Durant? Now, mind you, I told you guys how I feel about Kevin Durant. I told you, I want Kevin Durant on my team. But if you have to give up Kel'el Ware, that absolutely makes no sense at all. You're trading your future young piece for a 36-year-old and Kevin Durant that you have to pay, and we're gonna break that down because it's not looking good with that you have to pay, and that you may only have for what, a couple years, when you have Kel'el Ware for the next 5 years. How does that make sense? So please, Miami Heat, do not get desperate. Do not do anything dumb, and keep Kel'el Ware on this roster. Because I'm telling you guys, if Kel'el Ware somehow, some way gets traded, a lot of Miami Heat fans are going to be crashing out. I know for a fact they are. It doesn't make sense at all. So once again, I don't know where he's getting his report, but he's been getting a lot of Miami Heat news. I'm hoping this one's false. This is the one that I'm hoping is fake. And we'll go for there. But I definitely keep you guys updated. Now, this situation right here is definitely concerning to me. So this is if the Miami Heat land Kevin Durant. It says Kevin Durant is eligible to sign a 2-year, $122 million extension this summer. It also saying if he waits 6 months after a trade, the number can climb to $124 million. Add that to his $54.7 million in 25-26, and a team traded for him could be paying nearly $180 million through 2028. Any team trading for Kevin Durant will have to wait until July 6th to offer him an official contract extension. So this is what the Miami Heat are dealing with if they bring in Kevin Durant. That's a lot of money. And if the Miami Heat weren't willing to pay Jimmy Butler all this money, and I obviously know it's different scenarios and different situations and stuff like that, but I just can't really see them paying Durant that. And then why would Durant want to come to Miami on a rental so he can leave again? He kind of wants stability because he's getting older and he's retiring soon. So that would kind of push him away from joining this Miami Heat team. I think Durant is going to go to a team that he knows is going to pay him and that he can compete for a championship. Now, I do think he could compete for a championship in Miami, but this paying stuff is concerning because don't forget, we still got to pay Tyler Herro a massive, massive contract extension. And Tyler said the same thing. Listen, it's okay. Have me wait. But the longer you wait, the more money I'm going to be demanding. And his GM, not his GM, but his agent is going to demand a lot of money because he's going to be like, well, he's a first-time All-Star. You know, he was the healthiest he ever been. His numbers jumped in every statistical stat that you've seen. So this is the concerning part about trading for Kevin Durant. Let me know what you guys think about this deal right here. Are you willing to sign into this massive contract? Also, let me know in the comment sections, how do you feel about the Miami Heat may have to include Kel'el Ware to get Kevin Durant? And also, how do you feel about Jonathan Kaminga as a plan B option? Not the biggest fan, not the greatest news for the Miami Heat coming out today. But once again, I will be back tomorrow to keep you guys updated on this whole situation. NBA draft is around the corner. Free agency is going to be here before you know it. So once again, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And I'm out. Peace.